Welcome, Pio Nation, to this week's episode of Courtside. My name's Nyala Pendergrass, and I'm joined by Coach Anthony Latina, the head coach for the men's basketball program here. Last week, you guys split, went 1-1, and put up big numbers against FDU. Joey Riley, career high 29 points. What does he bring to the table when he's on?
Well, first of all, it was a good weekend for us. We beat a FDU team who was undefeated at the time. Joey's has really stepped up his game, in the absence of a lot of guys. Mike Sixsmith didn't play, who's been an important player for us. Brendan McGuire went down early in the second half, and Joey and Nico Gillette really carried us. So that's what it takes. One of the things, everything has not gone perfectly this year with injuries, and we've had a lot of guys out. And the reason we've been able to stay very competitive is because different guys on different days have stepped up, and Joey's been pretty consistent with that. So has Nico. Tanner Thomas had another good day. Bryce Johnson's been pretty consistent for us. So we've had some different guys do some special things, and that's put us in a decent position.
Mm-hmm. Bryce Johnson, like you mentioned, it's a 6 double-double in that game. A lot of times he's not in the headlines. So what is the impact he brings?
Well, he's just so consistent with his energy and his effort and his physical play, and he's just a warrior for us. And he kind of is a forgotten guy at times because, Joey will have this big numbers game, or Brendan or Nico will put up huge numbers, but Bryce is just so solid. He just gives us an energy and a presence that is invaluable to us. So we're thrilled that we have him, and we have had a lot of different guys help us. So to get a split against two very good teams, being very shorthanded, I'm very pleased with that. And hopefully we're not shorthanded for very long, but if we are, I have a lot of confidence in other guys stepping up. And even in the Wagner game, we were down double digits in the second half, and we put in Kenny Womack, who hasn't played much, because obviously he comes to us late with football, and he gives us a big lift. So you might be seeing him a little more. So we're going to really need that, especially if we're going to be in a situation where we're going to be missing guys. We're going to need different guys. Or another guy that's kind of a forgotten guy is Raheem Solomon. He came back and had 2 great double-figure games for us in the absence of those other guys, and to see him reemerge is definitely a lift for us. And lastly is Ray Espinal Guzman, who had a really good second half against Wagner, and hopefully he can continue to build on that. So we're going to really need all hands on deck. We're going to need different guys to step up. We hope to be at 100% and healthy at some point, but it's probably not in the foreseeable future. So I'm really proud of our guys that we've been able to keep ourselves in contention despite things not going exactly how maybe we would have drawn it up.
Mm-hmm. Next game versus LIU. They are winless in conference, but does that make them even more dangerous because they're hungry for their first win?
Of course, they're probably not going winless in the conference.
Yep.
They're beating somebody. We just have to make sure it's not us, and we're going to have to. And again, we're going with a different unit and different groups and stuff. So, in terms of guys getting used to their roles and chemistry, that's out the window. Like today's practice, tomorrow's practice, guys are going to have to accept some different roles. Maybe lesser role, bigger, probably most of the time a bigger role, or even a different role. Okay. So, we're going to have our work cut out for them. Again, they're going to beat somebody. We can't make it be us. This is a home game. This is an important game for us. We're 1 game out of first right now, or actually 2 games out of first, 1 game out of second. But we have the tiebreaker on both of those teams because we beat them both. So we have to keep pace with these teams, and this is an important game for us. Every game is magnified at this point in the year.
And when you say guys have to take on different roles, and right now at this point in the season, and it's even bigger than before, what's the messaging? Do you think they'll accept that and kind of step to the plate, or it'll be a little hard?
Well, we're going to need them to. We try to communicate with our guys at all times, and sometimes in these changing roles is, maybe a guy who was scoring a lot maybe has to distribute a little more because, that was Brendan's role. Brendan was a guy who passed all the time, and Mike was a great passer, so we might need some guys to be a little bit more facilitators and playmakers and things like that. And that's a difficult thing to do because we were starting to develop a chemistry. So, we have our work cut out for us. We have great guys. We have resilient guys. I think we're up to the challenge, but it's certainly not going to be easy. And there's no automatic games. Even at full strength, there's no automatic games. But when we're shorthanded, it's going to be a 40-minute battle. And if we expect anything else on Thursday, we're going to come home a loser. So it's going to be a very challenging game for us, and then we have a road game against a Stonehill team that took it to us here. So this is a tough weekend that, you know, we got to get we got to try to, you know, get a couple of these games here. Hopefully both, but you got to start with one before you can get two.
Most definitely.
We're focused on Thursday.
Yeah, everybody, Thursday we're going to be taking on LIU. Pack the pit, and we hope that we see you guys get a win.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us, Coach, and that has been this episode of Courtside.